Everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon Tarot. Today I'm bringing you guys a twin flame reading. This is the second one that I've done for November, but today's is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a twin flame reading for people that have either not met their twin flame yet in this lifetime, or they have, or they sense that they have, that someone is out, that person is their twin flame and they're in separation right now. Either they met them, just kind of whatever in passing, or they were friends and the other person maybe wasn't ready, or they were in fact in a relationship and things went sour, or they didn't go sour. They just, decided to step away from the partnership to work on themselves. So this reading is going to be for those people. And this is going to give us some insight into what the other person is kind of thinking in their head space, their heart space, how they feel about the union, etc. I'm using a variety of cards here as usual, and I will go ahead and list those in the description box below. So we're just going to jump right into it. So this very first position here is going to represent the masculine, okay? It's going to represent the masculine's headspace, what's going on in his mind right now, what is either stressing him out, what he's thinking about, that sort of thing. And it could be connected to the union, or it could just be individual, but I just wanted to showcase a little bit about what's going on for him. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the tarot first. So the tarot here, the very first card that we picked was the Judgment card, all right? The Judgment card in this particular case is all about a rebirthing process for him. As you can see, the people on the card here, they're just like going through this rebirthing, like this aha moment. They're being reborn, okay? The Judgment, of course, is all about decisions. It's all about reviewing one's past and karma and, all those big time things. It is a major arcana card, so it's pretty big time. It's big time energy. But the Judgment is just, in this case, is all about this, the masculine really going through just a reviewing of his life so far and where he's at and what he's doing and where he wants to go. He's reflecting a lot about, just the things that he's done in his past, the things that have gone on so far, and what he's really wanting moving forward. But he's going through almost like I said, an aha moment where he's really feeling like he's coming into his own, like he's finally getting something. There's something that's finally clicking for him. Okay, starting to see a pattern, and he wants to change certain things so that way he can really enrich his life. It's like he's tired of just the day-to-day crap. He's tired of just how things have been going, and he's ready to step it up a notch. I'm really feeling that it's like spiritually, he knows that there's something much richer out there for him in the form of either a relationship or something that he's doing for work, or just something, the way he's living his life. It's like it needs to change because it's not enough. The way he's been going about things is just not enough. So the Ace of Wands is combined here with the Judgment card. And as we know that the aces are all about the beginning of something, offerings of something. The fact that it's a wands tells me that he's very passionate about whatever this rebirthing process is. He feels reborn again, very inspired, very energetic. It's just like it's met with a lot of passion. This could be a renewal when it comes to a career, or some kind of creative pursuit, just some sort of idea, just something that's going off in his brain where it's just like, I finally understand. I finally get it. I know what I want. He has certain goals now in mind, and he's working towards those goals. So whatever this change is for him is very, very positive. The reason that I say it's creative, or that he's like somebody that works with his hands, somebody who actually does something to create something. We've got the exchanging gifts card. So he's very talented in his craft, whatever that might be. And so this is a time where he's really able to showcase his abilities and just share his gifts with the world. Okay, so that's why I'm with this Ace of Wands here. It really makes sense. So there's something that he's just really, really creatively inspired right now, and he's really able to just work within some kind of field where he's an expert in that field, and he's feeling really positive about it. And there could also be some new opportunities that are coming through for him in that area as well. So I'm just going to kind of jump around. I'm not really going to go in order here, but I'll just jump to this one here. This here, it's called the Gossamer Princess. I might not be saying that right, but it's about communication, relationship work to be done. So this card, when this comes up, this has to do with, again, it's like that reviewing of your life, reviewing how he has been in relationships, reviewing, kind of just taking responsibility for his part in why things have not worked out so far. This could be, again, with you, the feminine. This just could be in the relationships that he's been in since he's been with you, or just that he's been in and he hasn't met you yet. But regardless, this is him really examining himself on a very deep level and realizing that he has to take responsibility for the patterns and the different things that he's been giving to the relationships or not giving. There's also something about communication. This person, the masculine, really wants to communicate and needs to communicate something in regards to relationships, in regards to what he has either done or not done. Some sort of communication. So I'm getting a few different messages here. I'm obviously getting the message for people that have not come across their twin flames yet. This is somebody who would like to reach out and make amends with the people that they've done wrong, or just at least try to communicate with them to grow within themselves because of the certain things that they've either done or not done in relationships. If you've already partnered up with this person and you're in separation, the message that I'm getting here is this: the masculine wants to communicate with the feminine. There's something that he wants to say to her, but he's afraid. Okay. So this isn't necessarily saying that he is going to reach out to you, but he's thinking about it. It's in his mind that he wants to. Alrighty. Whether or not he will actually conjure up the courage in order to do that is another thing. But there is something that's on his mind, that's weighing heavily on his mind because of this aha moment, because of this rebirthing. He's really maturing emotionally. And things are becoming very clear in his mind. So he's very excited to be able to communicate, like, oh, I just want you to know that this is what was going on at that time. And I just want you to know either that I'm sorry, or I get why certain things were a certain way, and this is why I did what I did. So this is, the thought is at least there, if that is some sort of comfort to anybody out there. But regardless if you've met up with your twin flame or not, they're doing a lot of inner work at this time, not only on their creative pursuits, but they're really growing in those areas where they're really taking the time to reflect on everything that has gone on so far with them. Okay. So then now we have the Hand of Fate. All right. Love this card. It says forces beyond your control intervene. So the Hand of Fate is very much at work in his life right now. Everything that's happening right now for the masculine is divinely, it's divinely inspired, for one. And everything is happening the way that it should, in the right time. Okay. So he's on the right track. Fate is leading him right now. And whether that is just on his own individual path, or for you two to come back into union, regardless, it is a card that is basically spelling out that the things that are going on right now are very big time, as we have here with the Judgment card. And he's going to be divinely guided to basically do what he needs to do on his path. All right. But he has this card of wait. It says, wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. So right here, like I did see, there is some hesitation with communication. The desire is there, but whether or not he will actually reach out and communicate is a different story. So what's in his energy field with his mind is waiting. So he may get that message from the universe to wait. Don't rush into action. Maybe things won't go won't go as well as if he would wait for just a little bit of time. Maybe enough time hasn't gone on, that sort of thing. So the waiting card here, this is something that he's thinking about. He's hesitating. He's waiting for something. He may need another sign, and that's where fate steps in to give him that sign to go ahead and reach out to make that communication. So what we have going on in his environment when it comes to what he's thinking about, the things that are affecting him in his environment, we have the Older Woman card. So what I'm picking up on with this card here, it's either a mother figure, a grandmother, an aunt, somebody who is older that's in his life. And I asked, okay, so what about this older woman? Then it says the bird flying, news is on the way. So there's news on the way in regards to this older woman, and it comes with a challenge. This is very challenging news. So what I'm picking up on is there may be somebody that's in his environment that is not doing so well. This older woman in his life, whether that's a mother, an aunt, mother figure, just somebody older that he respects, grandmother, that sort of thing. There might be some challenging news that he gets that will, affect him in a very challenging way. So that's coming up, and maybe that's the reason why some things are on hold. Even though he's got a lot of growing here and a lot of things that he's doing in order to grow, there's something that's going on here in his headspace that might prevent him from reaching out right at this particular time. But regardless, the thoughts are aligned. He's on track. Things seem very positive in that aspect. Okay, so these next set of cards are what is in the feminine's headspace, what she's thinking about, what's heavily on her mind, the things that are affecting her, her thinking process, her thought process. So the first card that I want to the first cards that I want to talk about are the tarot cards here. So she's got the Two of Wands. I love this card. This person is actually holding the world in their hands, okay? So it's a very powerful card in the sense that the feminine at this time, she's looking at this world, she has it in her hands, and now all she has to do is figure out what she's going to do with it. She has the power to create anything that she wants. It's a very magical card for me, okay? So she's very much in this thought process of what she's going to do moving forward. Now, because of the other cards, I feel that she already has it in mind. She already knows what she wants. The answer is yes. So she's either been asking for confirmation from the universe, and she has gotten this yes, this confirmation that she needs. So now that she has this confirmation, she has the power of the world in her hands, and she knows that she can create whatever it is that she wants to create in this lifetime. She knows the power is hers. And the Temperance card is a wonderful card because for me, this is the card of an alchemist. So it's kind of like the Magician, but it's a little bit more lax. There's nothing tricky about it. This person is they know their power. They own their power. They know how to utilize all the elements around them in order to create magic in their lives. And it's all about healing. It's also about balance. But for me, with this card combination, this is really spelling out somebody who has all the different qualities and all the different elements that they need in order to start creating their magical world. So the feminine is very much in her power right now because she's in alignment with exactly what it is that she wants. She's gotten that okay from the universe to say, yes, confirmation, you're on the right path, okay? So that's really, really wonderful. So I'm going to go into these cards here. So Stolen in Her Sleep. I thought this was a really interesting card. It's gorgeous, but it says, stolen in her sleep, unaware, unconscious, unawakened. So even though she's very much in her power as far as understanding something, knowing what she wants to do as far as goals are concerned, there's still something about her that's standing in the way. I think it's interesting that we have the Gate card here. The Gate card is an indication of a barrier that's keeping you from your goal. There is a key, and once you unlock that door, magical things start to happen. So there is something that's holding her back from utilizing this power to its 100% power. Stolen in her sleep. That's what the issue is. And there's a couple of other issues here too. But stolen in her sleep, this is really just letting her know that she has so many capabilities. She has so many things that she can utilize in order to create all the wonderful things that she needs and wants in this lifetime. Okay? But she is unawakened. She is unconscious. She is afraid. She's scared. This vulnerable card here comes up because it's showing that she doesn't want to let go of something, that she's afraid to do something different. She's almost afraid to step into her full potential and her full power. Okay? Because she knows once she does this, there's no stopping her. There may be something that she's holding on to because it's very comfortable for her. She may be doing things that are just kind of, you know, like I said, that comfort zone. And she's afraid to step into her power, because if she does, she knows that she's going to have to handle the shit that's around her that's no longer working. And this does have something to do with releasing somebody. Now, I know it says releasing your ex, but it says the time has come to clear your energy. She has to release someone. She has to release someone either from her life that is currently in her life, or somebody that she is holding on to, or in a concept or an idea. This could actually be the masculine that she's holding on to, and she needs to drop these expectations that she has for the masculine. There's dual, like many what's the word I'm looking for? Many messages that are coming through. It's not just about one particular avenue. There's many avenues here. So, like I said, it could be that she needs to release the masculine and the energy that she's holding him in right now. Okay. She might have some expectations for that relationship. She might have expectations of how they're going to come together again. This might be somebody that's in her space right now. Somebody that is just, it's taking away from her power. It's taking away from what she needs to accomplish in this life. So she needs to release that. And there's something about seeking solitude. She may be afraid to be alone. So that's why that card's coming up, is about seeking solitude, being okay with being alone, not having the need to be with something. Again, there's something about endings coming up here. This is a card of ending. So she's afraid to end certain things and to be done in certain situations because she is afraid of her power. She knows it's going to be hard work. It's not that she's afraid of the hard work. It's not that at all. But she knows that it's going to be, there's work ahead of her. And she's up for the challenge, but at the same time, it's very scary to her to do all of this letting go and opening up that gate. Once that gate's open, it's like a floodgate. She is awakened. She is in her full power, and there's no stopping her. So I'm hoping that that's making sense. So it's like she is very aware of the messages, but she's choosing to remain asleep, like this girl in this card. It's easier to stay in a slumber, because if she stays in the slumber, then she doesn't have to address all of these things that she knows deep down inside are no longer working for her. She needs to let all of these things fall away, so that way she can open up this gate and finally walk through it into her power of creating everything that's hers. Okay, so this is what's going on in the masculine's heart space right now. So these are the things that that have him in an emotional state. These are the things that could be heartbreaking. These are the things that could be making him happy, etc. So a combination of things. So the first cards that I want to go over are going to be the tarot cards, the Three of Swords. So right now in his heart space, he's holding on to some sort of pain, and it is connected to the past, because the Six of Cups is a card of the past. So again, there could be a couple of different messages that we can get from this, and I'm already picking them up. So the Three of Swords is either a card about past betrayal. This is something that either happened in the past that's very painful. He either betrayed somebody or somebody betrayed him. But whatever it is, regardless of how it all went down, there was a third person in the picture. This could have been about deception, cheating, the person going in between partners, that sort of thing, or the other person going in between partners. But whatever this is, it's very heartbreaking, and he's still holding on to this pain. He's either rehashing it in the sense where he is really raking himself over the coals for his actions and what he did, being very regretful of how things went down, his part in it. Because we know in his mind space, he's really taking the time to reflect on himself, on the way that he acted in relationships. So that's why I'm more inclined to say that this deception probably came from him. Doesn't have to apply to every single, masculine out there, but this is just for a good portion of them. The Six of Cups is a card where he's reflecting on somebody that he hurt in the past, but he's also reflecting on the good times of how good it was, how he could be so blind, so dumb, how he could have hurt this person. It's very heartbreaking to him. So this is what he's holding in his head or in his heart space right now. What I'm also picking up on too is that this could be something that he's currently going through with another partner. This might not have anything to do with the feminine. So these are going to be for individuals that have not met their twin flames yet. So he's either done a lot of shit that has hurt a lot of people, or this has happened to him, one of the two. So what he's doing is he's looking, he's like reflecting in his mind about how nice it's going to be once he's away from that heartbreak. He's looking into the future, and he's thinking about a love. He's thinking about a love that will complete him. He's thinking about a soulmate, because Six of Cups for me is connected to soulmates, people from the past. So he's really looking forward to coming together with someone, that twin flame, soulmate, etc., to where he can really enjoy himself and be in happier times. Now, if we're talking about a heartbreak that has happened with the feminine in this lifetime, he's reflecting and looking at a time that he was happy with you. He wants to get away from this shit. He doesn't want this, whatever he's currently going through with another partner, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want this. So he is wanting to look into getting back together with you and reconnecting with you. It's almost like he had to go through certain shit with other people in order to realize how good he had it with you. So he's really reflecting on the wonderful times that he had with you. So like I said, there's 3 different messages coming through, whether or not you've met your twin flame, or this is someone that you've actually already done some time with. So all those messages apply to all of those different scenarios. So moving on from the tarot, we've got, I'm going to go into this card here. This is the Midnight Prince, and it says, ask for what you want, be honest. Now, I had a chance to read the descriptions of some of these cards, because to me, ask for what you want, be honest. Great. Sounds pretty self-explanatory. But really, the card meant so much more. So I'm really glad that I actually took the time to read the description. And I'm not going to read it here. I'm just going to reflect on what I remember from the meaning. It talks about your dark side. It talks about your shadow self. So I think that's the reason why he's called the Midnight Prince. But he's a fairy. He's a fairy prince, and he grants wishes. So what he's asking the masculine to do is to honor that darkness in himself. Don't rake yourself over the coals. Yes, there could be things that have happened that you've either done or that have been done to you, but it's talking about not concentrating on those actual elements of the darkness. It's about honoring them, realizing that it's a part of spiritual growth, that who you are, the dark, you need to honor as well as the light. There needs to be a true balance there. So I thought that was a really interesting message coming through with the Midnight Prince. So there are people that are out there that constantly want to live in the light. They want to tuck that dark part of themselves away. They're ashamed of it. They're afraid of it. They're afraid that if they unleash it, or if they, are that part of themselves, that other people will reject them or won't accept them. Okay. So that's a message that's coming through for some masculines out there. So they might be kind of going through a dark night of the soul where they're really trying to figure out what it is that they want, who they are, being honest and authentic with themselves and with others. So the Midnight Prince is basically saying, hey, let's get down to the nitty gritty of the situation and with who you are and what you really want. Be honest with yourself. What do you want? Another message is coming through. Maybe this person is living their life a certain way. They have a certain stature about them. They have a certain image. And maybe the feminine might not fit into that image in their headspace right now. Maybe they feel that other people wouldn't accept someone like her. Maybe he feels that she doesn't exactly look the part for his particular image. Whatever that may be, but that's the message that's coming through. Not that he's ashamed or would be ashamed of her. It's just that she may not fit into his life. And that might be something that's holding him back. So the Midnight Prince is asking the masculine to be honest with yourself. Honestly go after what you want. If you really want this particular person, and this is what you really want, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what the outside looks like. If that's truly what you're drawn to, be honest with yourself enough to ask for it. I will grant this wish for you. I am ready to help you to find what it is that you're looking for. So very interesting message coming through with that Midnight Prince. So wishes want to be, this Midnight Prince wants to grant a wish for the masculine, but he has to get down to exactly what it is that he's looking for. He has to be honest with himself and really get deep down to figure out what he's really looking for. That's the one thing that's holding him back right now. He's got to meet his darkness or something like that in order to make this wish come about. Okay. So now I'm going to go into some other cards here. So we've got the Fatal Attraction card here. Okay. And I want to talk about this because there's a couple of messages that are coming through. One is that if the masculine is in a relationship right now or has just gotten done with a relationship, this is very much a fatal attraction type of a relationship. He's either betrayed someone or someone's betrayed him. There's a fatalness that is connected to this. I'm not talking about somebody that's going to kill him or anything like that, but this is a person that is very much not done with the masculine. Okay. So I'm just going to use a female for an example, but it could be, a male, it could be, two females, two men, but it could be a woman that is around the masculine right now that has either betrayed him or he's betrayed her, like he's fucked with the wrong woman. And this unfortunately is going to have some negative consequences for him. All right. I do see a lot of protection moving forward in this reading. So I'm not too concerned for the masculine, but it's like, it's just going to it's going to really affect him in a negative way. Like it's just going to be a total bummer that he's got to deal with this shit. But again, what you put out there is what comes back. So it could be just a balancing of karma in that situation here. So the fatal attraction is very much coming through with a betrayal that's going on for him currently right now, or that has happened in the past with another individual. All right. Now this is the next message. We're not looking at the fatal attraction. We're canceling that out. All is not what it seems. So what I'm picking up on is this is a person that has come together with the twin flame before. They've been in union before. So someone has betrayed someone. All right. So let's just say the feminine has betrayed the masculine. He's having a very difficult time getting over this betrayal, almost to the point where he's driving himself crazy that he feels almost fatal. All right, so I know I crossed out the fatal attraction, but that's the message that's coming through for that. But what I really want to concentrate on, because I feel that this is going to apply to a lot more people out there, the masculine has deceived the feminine in some way. He broke her heart in some way, okay? And he is tormenting himself over what he did. And he doesn't understand why he can't let this go. He doesn't understand why this old pain is coming through. So it's reminding him, all is not what it seems. The reason why all is not what it seems is because you guys are twin flames. He might not understand this connection. He might not understand why he is so connected to this. He might not understand why he is desiring a reunion with you. He might not understand the depths of why he is feeling this pain, because obviously, as we know, twin flames are a part of each other. So deceiving deceiving someone else, or deceiving you, is like deceiving himself. This heartbreak that he created for you, it's almost like a heartbreak for himself. So it's like he may be revisiting that pain and rehashing this pain and going through in a delayed way what he bestowed upon you. So, but the universe is saying all is not what it seems, because there's something more going on than he understands. Okay. So what I'm seeing, I've got 3 cards here that confirm that his angels or his guides or the universe is stepping in to help him with this issue. So whether that has to do with you or this other woman that's affecting him right now, the universe is stepping in a big way for him to basically help him through this. He has answered prayer. Your prayers will be answered. So if he wants to get away from this situation, the angels are going to help him get away from that situation. They're going to answer his prayers. Okay. And then we have the hand, in need of help or assistance or guidance. So this is either going to come in the form of actual angels or earth angels, people that are around him that are really going to help assist him with this situation. And then we have the universe actually handing us the world. So abundance. Again, this is, offering something. So he's got 3 cards where he's being offered something. But I also feel that the message, if this has to do with the divine feminine, he's really being offered this guidance and assistance of leading him and his way back to you and back to this union, okay? Leading him to reach out and to make that contact or make these amends with you. This is very much an answered prayer for him. So if you guys did fall out of contact and there's just been a lot of pain with the separation, it's like your prayers will be answered. And I see that this is something that the masculine is actually really wanting. He's really wanting this reunion. He may not reach out because if he's betrayed you, he's very frustrated. He's very frustrated with all these thoughts that he's having. So this right here is just that indication that, you know, he might not reach out because he feels that he's undeserving of a second chance or a third chance or whatever that might be in your guys' situation. But you're very much on his mind and you're in his heart space, and he feels this to the core of his being. It's very painful for him. So the angels right now and his guides in the universe are working with him with all this frustration and really helping to lead him to the right path, whether that's just for his own path right now or whether that's back into union with you. Regardless, he needs help, and that's why the universe is coming through in a big way 3 times in this situation, okay? But the good news is he's got the sun, which means his perseverance is rewarded. So he's just been persevering and getting through shit, but the sun is on his side. And this is also indicating that, you know, when someone is being represented by the sun, it means that they're a hard worker. They know how to survive. They know how to get through tough situations. So this is almost kind of like the 9 of Wands for me. Somebody who's just been persevering. They've got a couple of more trials to go through, but they're going to get there. Okay. Their hard work is going to pay off. So I'm really sensing here for the masculine that that's really going to pay off for him. All right, he's gonna put his head to the board, and he's just gonna work his ass off, and he's gonna do whatever it takes in order to get to, you know, the final destination. But in the meantime, with all this stuff going on for him, he needs to just have fun, okay? I'm going to read this card. It says, stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly? Something totally unlike you. Something just for the joy of it. It's long overdue for you to let go of your analytical mind and give yourself and your soul permission to have fun. So we see here that he's in a lot of pain, a lot of regret, a lot of frustration, a lot of stuff that might be coming from other people. It's time for him to just go off and have fun. Stop raking himself over the coals, or stop dipping into the pain of the situation, or stop dealing with the stress that's coming from someone else. All those things apply. Take it as that resonates. But it's just time for him to go out and have some fun and to just let go of whatever has really just been in his heart space so heavily lately. Okay, so these next set of cards is what the feminine is going through in her heart space. These are the things that she's very emotional about. These are the things that are affecting her on an emotional level and how she feels inside. So the first cards that I'm going to go through are the tarot. We have the Queen of Cups. Beautiful card. This is just that indication that the feminine right now is really open to receiving. She's really able to look at herself and to really dive deep into her emotional side. So she could be going through a very healing time right now where she's healing emotions that may be unpleasant. She's going through like a transformation. Reason I say that is we've got the Tower card here. So all the cards I did the tarot and it's upright. I usually do reverse. I don't know why I felt inclined not to do reversed. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, that Tower card coming up is she's ready for this transformation. She's ready to let go of things that are no longer serving her. She's willing to let things fall away. People, old thought patterns, just any blockages that have been blocking her. She's willing to emotionally cleanse herself and let everything fall away. Okay. And there's definitely something here about psychic abilities as well. So she might be in a time right now where she's really receptive. She's receiving divine messages. She's receiving messages in her third eye. She's getting thoughts through dreams, you know, just any type of psychic communication. She's really receptive right now. She's like on fire, basically, when it comes to that sort of thing. So she's really in her power when it comes to her emotional self. And she's also very compassionate right now. So whatever anger she has held in her heart, whether that be for other people, herself, or the divine masculine, okay, if she has come together with him in this life and she's just separated from him, she is letting that go. She is ready to be compassionate, or has been compassionate. She's willing to just let all that shit go, let bygones be bygones, and realize that, you know what, there, you know, people do things and things happen. But she's no longer willing to carry the pain and the hate around with her any longer. We have the heartbreak card here. So obviously she is healing from some sort of heartbreak, and she's victorious with this. She's mastering this, all right? She's mastering this part of herself where she's able to take the heartbreak and turn it into something positive, all right? She's really letting herself do that. The balance card here says a great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. What I'm getting from this is that she may be or have been that type of person in the past where things weren't balanced. She may have given too much to other people and didn't ask for what she needed in return. So this old part of herself she knows no longer works. She knows that she can't go forth in new relationships with this old mindset. She knows that things need to be balanced in order for it to work. Maybe that's the reason that she's dealing with certain heartbreaks, is because she gave too much and didn't get enough back. Maybe she didn't feel like she was worth anything. Maybe she had low self-esteem or just didn't have a lot of self-worth. And so these old concepts are crumbling down for her now, so she can jump into that more balanced part of herself and ask for what it is that she wants. Okay, so she's being very victorious when it comes to transforming any old shit and old pain, this transformation, into something very positive. That's just amazing messages coming through for that. So now we have the I. This is psychic ability. Trust your intuition. So like I just said, she's very psychic right now. She's very receptive to the messages that she is getting, and she's paying attention. The universe is like confirming for her through this card. Your messages has been divinely guided. You have this higher knowing. We're connected. So she's very much plugged into the universe right now, and anything that is, you know, on a different realm, she is connected to it. So she is just getting it, and she is using this in a very, very positive way. Okay. The dog barking says advice from friends. This just means that there's people, what I'm picking up on for this is that there's people around her that she's attracting into her life that are of like-mindedness. These are people that she's created, like all this old shit that she's been holding on to, and all these old people and old pain. She's wiping that from her life, clean slate. Now, because she is resonating radiating at such a high vibration, such a very pure, loving vibration, she's attracting new people into her life, and that comes into the form of friends. So these are people that are going to be like-minded, people that are aligned with her when it comes to everything that she's wanting for herself right now. So very positive in the area of friends, and it could be a connection with psychic friends, people that she meets through being psychic, you know, something like that. But there's some kind of connection with friends. But I'm also picking up on that other friends around her might have very good intuition and good advice for her in regards to everything that she's going through. So that's another message that just came through there. But regardless, all the messages that are coming through, whether they're through friends, family, or herself, or spirit, it's just all on par. It's all on par. Then we have the air element here. It's a seek a union of mind and spirit. So what I'm picking up on is that sometimes when we're so much in a watery type of a state, such as the Queen of Cups, so the negative side of the Queen of Cups would be somebody who's just totally in fantasy, all right? Somebody who could be disillusioned with certain things. I'm not really feeling that though when I pick up that card air. I'm just feeling more positive than anything else. But what this is saying is just stay balanced within your mind and within your spirit. You know, just make sure that you're grounded. Make sure that when you're doing all this spiritual work, that you're not just soaring so high that you're just in the clouds, okay? Because sometimes that can have a tendency to happen. I know that when I'm on a creative kick, sometimes I can be so high on that energy that like everything else is non-existent. And it's not good for the people around me or myself, because I'm not even present. I'm in a totally different realm. And that kind of sucks, because if you're hanging out with other people and you're not even present because you're somewhere else, I mean, that's just not good for you or them. So that's the message that I'm picking up on, is just to make sure that you ground yourself when it comes to using this new energy that's coming through in such a huge way for you. Make sure you take the time to use your logical side when making these decisions. It's like being too much in the water isn't exactly what this energy is coming to you for. It's coming to you to open you up, but it's not coming to you for you to base all of your decisions on. You still need to utilize your logic, and you still need to utilize that element of air to keep yourself grounded. Hope that's making sense. Last card here. This is called Barnabas and the Prince. Hope I said that right. Adventures, discovery, travel, meeting destiny. This means that this person gets on this frog, and it's kind of like the Fool card, where we are ready to step out onto a new adventure. We realize that we need to move forward in order to meet our destiny. We can't stay stuck in the situations that we're in. We have to let certain things crumble and go. We can't move forward with all this shit on our back. We have to jump on, I guess, the back of this toad, so it can lead us to our destiny. And the only way that we're going to get out there and meet our destiny is to get out there. So it's about leaving your actual home, taking that trip, traveling. If you have a hunch to go somewhere, to be someplace, to visit a place, you need to pay attention to that. Okay? Because this could be a part of your destiny. This could be a part of, you know, opening up avenues of either meeting specific individuals that you'll actually connect with for relationships, friendships, partnerships. When it comes to work, all those things are coming through. So there's very much something about trusting your intuition when it comes to getting out and going on the adventure to discover these things. But you won't discover anything if you don't get out. That's the message that's coming through. So you must take some steps forward and not let all of your fears hold you back from actually leaving the comfort of your space. That could be your actual physical home, or it could just be the space, the comfortable space of your mind. Thought processes that keep you down, like, oh, I could never do that, or oh, that's going to stop me, or body image, I can't do that because, you know, I just don't look good enough, or I'm not healthy enough, or I don't have enough money, or whatever. All those things are keeping you from your path, and you have to drop these things. You have to allow these things to drop, so that way you can go on into this new energy. So really trust your intuition during this time when it comes to guiding you to specific places and people. Cards have to do with the masculine. So this is when he thinks of the feminine. Now, whether or not he's thinking of the feminine in terms of somebody he hasn't met yet, or if he's thinking in terms of somebody who he's come together with already, all right, which would be the feminine, all right? So these are all the things that are associated that could either be blocking him from his path from you, or what he has going on that he needs to take care of in order to, you know, get to that union, whether or not you've already been in union or you've never met before. Just want to put that out there. So a lot of different things came up. So as you can see, I picked a lot of cards. Well, I didn't pick them. How I shuffle is I shuffle, things pop out. So a lot of cards came up with this particular subject when I asked, what's going on with the divine masculine when he thinks about the divine feminine, whether or not he's ever met her before, or this is somebody he's already come into contact with at some point. So these are the things that came up. Very interesting. I'm going to go through the tarot first. We've got the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Now, I picked the Queen of Swords actually first, then the Seven of Swords came out, then the Queen of Cups came out. So that's why I have the Seven of Swords in the middle, because I thought it was pretty significant that the Seven of Swords would be in between these two women. So the earlier message is that he had someone in his space that he either just recently had a situation with or he's currently going through. I'm definitely getting a confirmation for some masculines out there that there is a female around the masculine that really is, not in a very positive way for him. Now, whether or not she's just messed up and she's, means him harm, or maybe there's something that he's done to her. Like I said, he's fucked with the wrong bitch and now it's hell to pay. Regardless, this is a situation that he's going through. So when I picked the Queen of Swords here, I wanted to clarify our card on who the queen was. Well, actually, I got both of the queens and I wanted to know who was what. Medusa, jealousy leads to downfall. So he could either be jealous of something going on with this Queen of Swords, the masculine, or this woman, in fact, could be very jealous of something that's going on that he's creating, all right? Regardless, though, she's very much in her head, the Queen of Swords. She's very much like willing to take that sword and cut anybody that crosses her, anybody that betrays her, and she's very harsh with her words. So this is somebody that could really be in his mental space, just creating a bunch of havoc for him in his mind and even in his heart space. But this is just somebody who's really creating a lot of issues for him. We have the clouds here, which is temporary problems. But the good news is that it is temporary and it is affecting his happiness, because I drew two cards here and both popped out with happiness. So there are temporary problems that are affecting his happiness right now. Now, the Seven of Swords is a card, as most of us know, that has to do with betrayal, somebody trying to get away with something, somebody sneaking around, somebody not being 100% on the up and up with their motives or whatever they're doing. And then we have the Queen of Cups. I think it's interesting that we have two women right with the smack dab in the middle, Seven of Swords. So I'm picking up a variety of messages here. So take what resonates. Queen of Swords is somebody that he's fucking with. That is somebody who's not going to take his shit. This is somebody who's going to become a Medusa, or has already become a Medusa, that's really going to create a lot of issues for him, because she knows what he's doing. She knows that he's screwing around and he's not going to either get away with it or she's not dumb. Who does he think she is? That sort of thing. Okay. And then we have the Queen of Cups. This could be somebody that he's actually screwing around with. This is somebody that he might have more of an emotional connection with. He's got a great mental connection with this woman here, but he's got more of an emotional, watery connection with this individual, which would be why he is, doing what he's doing. Okay. He could just be confused between two women. So he's pulled back, and this has led this person to become very angry and not understand what the heck is going on. All right. Then we've got the message coming through of the divine feminine. Okay. So this is going to apply to two different scenarios. Either you have already come together with the masculine in this lifetime. If you're listening, feminine, if this applies to you. So the feminine has already come together with the masculine in this lifetime. All right. And maybe he betrayed her too. Maybe he betrayed her too. And this is just a cycle. This is just what he does. He's just, again, he's all about right now reflecting about the things that he's done and how he does certain things. So he's on the same pattern with other people. He hasn't changed. He's still working through his crap. Okay. But with this here, with things not working out, he's realizing that this is what he wants. This person, this person from the past, because we have the Six of Cups. And that Six of Cups was representative of somebody that he's kind of mourning for, pining away, or regretful if things didn't work out in the past. I believe that is the divine feminine. This is somebody that he's already come into contact with. So he's looking at her in a very positive light. He looks at this as a very a harsh situation. It's very challenging. He doesn't want to be in it. It's too much trouble. It's like, I just want to get back to being in that feeling of love, that this person that was compassionate, this person that was just easy to be with. This Queen of Swords is hard. This Queen of Swords is very much in her mental space. It's not all negative though. The Queen of Swords is badass. I mean, she is in control. She takes matters into her own hands and she gets things done. She's in a power position. She's in a very authoritative type of position. She doesn't take crap, so she's able to get things done that need to get done. Could be a very cutthroat type of a person, somebody who's very successful, all right? But this person, because they're so caught up in the mind and sometimes the material, the emotional, the depth lacks. And so the masculine could really be missing this from the feminine. He had this at one time. Maybe it was too much for him. Maybe it was too scary for him. So he went in pursuit of something else that he thought would be safer or that he thought was what he wanted. But he's realized it's not what he wants. He's not happy. He wants this connection again. He wants that feeling of love and romance and passion and all those things that he felt with the divine feminine. He's grown. He's starting to see the patterns. He knows what he wants. I asked for some clarification on the Queen of Cups. She came up with the Queen, love and prosperity. That's how he views this Queen, is somebody who's full of love, prosperity, somebody that can really just kind of come in and heal him from a lot of these things that he's been going through. All right. Not in a negative way, just really just reaching out to this person for emotional healing. He wants to reconnect with this person. So those are some of the messages that are coming through. It's not going to apply to everyone, but I still felt compelled to throw out a few different scenarios there because people that are tuning into this, some things could resonate and other things don't. So like I said, just take what does resonate. But this right here is very negative for him. He doesn't want it. He just doesn't want it anymore. So either he's already let this person go or they have let him go because of the betrayal, whatever's going on. Or this is something, like I said, he's currently going through or he is already gone through. And these are just kind of like the after effects. But regardless, he's really looking to the feminine, whether he is looking at you from the past, meaning he's already come together with you and he's reflecting on how things once were and how he would love to come together with you again, or it's just the dream. It's the dream of a woman out there that he knows embodies all of these traits, all of these attributes. He knows that there's something out there. He's wanting to connect with a female in a totally different way than he ever has before. He is now ready for that. Or at least he's working towards being ready for that. But that's what he's really looking for. And this is very key, all right? This is very key to figuring out whatever this here, he had to go through this in order to gain the wisdom, in order to get all this stuff kind of cleared and going, to get to his happiness, to get through all these temporary issues. The Queen of Cups is next to the caring connections. That's what he's really either missing from you, from the past. He wants to come together and have that just caring connection with you. Or he's just really desiring that in a new partner. He really wants that caring connection. He wants to be nurtured. And we know the Queen of Cups is very nurturing. Now, the Divine Feminine came up as the Queen of Cups just before we laid out this spread of cards here. So like I said, I really feel that the Queen of Cups is the Divine Feminine, if that's resonating with some of you feminines out there. So, whether or not you're going to come together with this person in the future, or you have already connected with this individual and you guys are going to be coming back together in union, he wants the union. He's getting ready for this union is what I'm trying to say. So in the meantime, he needs to speak his truth. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be cut and dry with this situation. So if this is lingering and he's just not dealing with it, he's just kind of letting it fester, or he's just kind of whatever, doesn't feel he needs to deal with it, he's wrong. He has to speak his truth. He has to tell this individual either what happened or what he's really thinking. So that way this person can, get that closure that they need and be done. Oops, sorry about that. Get that closure that they need so that way they can move on, or that way they can see things in a different light. All right. And he also needs to speak his truth to the Divine Feminine. If in fact he knows who she is, he needs to speak his truth to her. He needs to tell her something. He needs to come together with her and convey some sort of message to her that will really help heal, because she's already healing on her own. She's doing her individual healing, but whatever the masculine has to say to her would also help heal and accelerate that healing. So this is something that the masculine needs to do. This will be very key in the situation. Okay. Now we come up with the Witch of the End of the World, an important end and a new beginning. So if he's still screwing around here with this and he hasn't completely let this go, he must let this go. So that way he can invite this energy into his life. He can invite this Queen of Cups in to partake in that cup with him that he so desires right now. That way he can have that caring connection that he desires right now. So he has to end something in order for this new beginning to come through. Then we have the Fool. The Fool is all about new beginnings. So we have 2 cards about new beginnings. And let me point this out. New beginnings. So it's just that confirmation that he really does want to start anew. He really wants to kind of do a total transformation and just redo things and go into a new phase with either the divine feminine or that thought that he has that there's someone out there more caring for him, somebody that will care for him, somebody he can have that emotional connection with. He's ready. All right. He does still have barriers though. Again, we've got the speak the truth. We got these temporary problems. We have the problems in the form of another woman. So there's definitely a barrier that's keeping him from ending things and going through these new beginnings, but the desire is there. So he is on his way, which is fantastic. Okay, so these set of cards are for the divine feminine. This is what she is got in her head and heart space when she thinks about the divine masculine. Okay, so these are just things that pop up for her when she is thinking about him, trying to connect with him, dreaming about him, that sort of thing. So I'm going to start off with the tarot here. She feels all tied up about it. All right. So either she knows who her twin flame is. She knows, she's aware of who he is, which I'm pretty certain that she does because we have other cards. Like I said, I don't know if I explained this, but I actually drew these cards yesterday and I've had quite some time to sit with them and reflect on them all day yesterday. So when I'm doing this reading this morning, I'm even getting new messages coming through, which is really cool. But in the future here, in this future spread, she's very aware. She's very aware of this connection. So I'm just going to put it out there now. Because she's aware of this connection, she still feels stuck. Okay. She might be in a situation currently where she knows that she needs to move on, which is that 6 of Swords. She knows that she needs to get into this boat and start her journey. All right. Just like that adventure frog that she got, jumping on the frog's back and getting out and basically moving towards her destiny. There's something that's holding her back. So she needs to clear up some stuff. We know that she has barriers, just like the masculine. We know here she's got to end things in order for new beginnings to come through. The old must be released so that the new can enter. She also had a card about releasing an actual person from her life, whether that was the idea of someone, the concept of the masculine, or an actual person that's currently in her life. But regardless, she has to release something or unbind herself in some way. There's something that's holding her back from being able to move forward. Okay. So that's coming across very, very, very strong there. The serendipity card is about bright new prospects that are on the horizon. This is all about moon cycles, transformations. We got the moon in the background. We have the butterflies for transformation. And this is just about serendipity. So it's about the universe stepping in and creating certain events and paying attention to the signs, you know, knowing when to get into this boat and move forward towards your destiny. Okay. Again, we have another card here that is about somebody being in a boat. I always like to look at the pictures too and derive meaning from that. So we've got 2 cards that are about being in a boat. I mean, here I think there's like a child. I think it's in the traditional Rider-Waite that there's a child. I don't know if this person's just alone in the boat, but this person is alone in the boat, and the key word is solitude. It is about being alone. She did get a card previously that was about seeking solitude. So there is something about the feminine. Maybe she is afraid to be alone. Maybe she is in a situation where she's, codependent on someone or something, and she's able to, or she's unable to, or she's scared to remove herself from that and be alone. Maybe she's never been alone. I'm not sure. But those are the messages that are coming through. But regardless, she feels all tied up. But the universe is trying to give her signs, telling her that it's a cycle. There's phases, and this is a phase of transformation. Things must end so that way new beginnings can come through. So the universe is very much kind of almost not screaming, but really heavily trying to influence her mind and her feelings and her thoughts with serendipitous, is that a word? Events. Placing things in her path. Signs. Seeing 1111. Maybe seeing 111 as a time on the stove or microwave or her cell phone or just any of those things. So seeing numbers, hearing songs, seeing names, just stuff like that. Serendipity is very much a part of the feminine right now when it comes to her thinking about the masculine. All right? Kind of like, even if she wanted to forget about him, she couldn't. She couldn't forget about him because it's just always going to be there. All right? It's always going to be there. So the dreams, very much in connection right now with her dreams. She's getting a lot of information. She might be connecting with the masculine right now in her dreams. He may be visiting her. She may be visiting him. There might be just this telepathic type of thing that's going on between the two of them. She may be sending him healing messages. He may be sending her that. And she's very aware of this right now. She's very much in that dreamlike state to where she's receptive to receiving these messages. Again, she's been represented by the Queen of Cups twice here. So this is somebody who's very watery and very receptive right now. She's very sensitive to all the energies that are going on around her right now, very open to it. So it's a very positive thing. So when she thinks about the divine masculine, she's very in tune with him. She's in tune with the universe, and she's also in tune with him. Even though she knows that there's certain things she's got to do, she's still plugged into the energy. All right. She realizes too that it's a time for reflection. Give each other space, or some space at the moment. She knows that certain things have to occur for them both before they can come back together. Or before she meets this individual, until she can attract this person into her life. So again, this is a message for people that have either met their twin flame and are aware of them, or aware that there is the existence that they will come together with their twin flame. So that is something that she's aware of. She knows that it's a time for reflection. Maybe that's why she's not in any hurry. She knows that there's certain things that she needs to do, but she's not in any real hurry because she knows that it's in divine timing anyways, and she trusts that process. She knows she's got to get her shit together. She knows that she's got some time. So she's not necessarily rushing, even though she knows she's got to start putting the energy into these positive changes for herself. She's in no real rush. And that could be a positive and a negative at the same time, okay? Because sometimes when we're too focused and we're too rushed and we're trying to make things happen, we're not going with divine timing. And we all know that it's up to the universe, not really us. So also too, this fair woman came through. When she thinks about the divine masculine, someone else is in his space. Now, this could be that she's actually aware of a karmic partner that the masculine is currently with. So there is a person that's in the space of her masculine, and she knows it. She either knows this because she's heard that he's in the relationship, she's discovered he's in a relationship, he's told her he's in a relationship. Regardless, these are for people that know their twin flame, okay? They know of the existence or the connection. The other person may not be understanding of that or have woken up to that concept yet. So this could be just the feminine knowing this connection. They might not know it, which is fine. But here, the feminine is very much aware that there is another woman in his space. This person is in a position of authority. I think it's very interesting that the Queen of, not the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords was around him. And she came up as the Queen of Swords, somebody that's in an authority position, somebody who wears a crown. I thought this was so interesting. We have the throne, we have the woman, and we have the crown sitting on top. This is literally a queen. And this is a badass bitch, like I said, with that Queen of Swords. She doesn't take shit from anybody. She's very much about getting what she wants, and she's in an authority position. She's driven. She just has, just this mental capacity to deal with pretty much, anything. But even though this woman is in his space, the divine feminine realizes that this is not his true partner. She realizes that this person is just a karmic partner for the divine masculine at this time. So these are all the thoughts that she has. All right. So she knows that he's made mistakes, not only with this situation, it's a mistake to stay. All right. Because it's a shitstorm. All right. It's a shitstorm to stay in this energy. It's no good for him. She knows that it's no good for him. She knows that he would be better off getting into this boat and moving forward like she knows she needs to do. So they both share that, all right? They both share the stuck. So if he's stuck with this individual, she's also stuck with certain things too. She knows that they both need to get into those boats and go on a journey in solitude. She knows that they both need to do that in order to come back together. She has hope for this, that they both will. All right, that they'll be able to endure the storms. But in the meantime, she's really, really hoping, in that hope card here, and really trying to send him messages to stop, look, and listen. She wants him to see these signs too. That's what she wants. She wants him to be aware of these signs. She's praying for that. She's hoping for that. She's trying to communicate that to him, that all of this needs to end in order for them to come back together. Right now, it's just a time of reflecting on their selves, learning, growing before that they can come back together. So the divine feminine is in an all-knowing stage when she thinks of the masculine. She knows things that are happening in his life for some reason. Either she's seen things on social media, or she's heard from friends or something, or she just knows that he's in a partnership, or that he's just getting out of a partnership, or whatever that may be, or just assumes maybe that he's with someone. I'm not sure, but she knows that there's someone else in the space, of the divine masculine, and she knows basically what needs to happen. She knows it because she knows that they belong together. So she knows that these are the things that he has to do. Hoping that makes sense. So if this is, in fact, for somebody that you have not come together in union ever, this is somebody you've yet to come in union with in this lifetime, this is just kind of an open window to kind of a view into the life of the masculine right now, that he is currently with someone else, that he's currently going through these issues, that he's currently going through certain challenges with this particular individual, this Queen of Swords type of person energy. Okay, so that's what's going on when she thinks about the masculine, what she feels, what she knows, etc. All these things. So they're very in tune. What I'm picking up so far in this reading, very in tune with each other, or at least she's in tune with him. But what I'm saying is they're very much in alignment with what they need to do. She's got shit. He's got shit. They're still working on their stuff. They're still working towards getting in those boats and coming together. So here we go. They're kind of collide right there. I thought that was really cute. Anyways, that's what's going on with that set of cards. This is the divine masculine's message to the feminine. If he could say something to her right now, all right, this is what it would be. It's not like if he could. This is something that he is communicating with her on another level. I think they call it the 5D. I don't really know enough about 3D and 5D. I hear other readers use those terms, so I don't want to use them incorrectly. But I'm assuming the 5D, obviously, it's another dimension that the two souls, the twin flames, are on. Regardless, it's an eternal connection. They never separate on that level. It's just in the 3D that they come here to Earth and they separate in body form. So this is kind of his message to her, I guess, in the 5D for the 3D. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, sorry, but here we go. Okay, so what he's really, really wanting to communicate, or is communicating to the feminine right now, this is the masculine to the feminine. He's communicating to her that there's been a powerful energy shift for him, the eclipse mermaid. So the messages that I'm getting from this is that at the eclipse, and I don't know why I can't remember when that was. I mean, I know it was like a month or two back ago. So on the actual eclipse, there could have been a major, I mean, there was a major energy shift for everyone, but there could have been a major energy shift for him. This could have been his awakening period when he started to just awaken. She could have started awakening towards this connection as well. But since this huge energy shift has taken place, he's letting her know, I got the message. I feel this. I feel you. I know of this existence. I'm starting to wake up to the concept of this. Now, whether or not he's aware of you in the 3D, in the 5D, he is. I feel so dumb saying those terms because I don't really get it, but I'm hoping that you guys understand. So he's aware, he's awakened, he feels the energy. He's sending you energy, he's picking up on it, he's receiving it, sending it, etc. Okay? He realizes that it's all about timing, perfect timing. He realizes that in divine timing, this will happen. All right. He knows it's the perfect time to make these changes. So this energy shift has really helped to propel him onto this new journey of letting certain things fall apart. So that way he can start a new journey. That way he can start at square one again. Again, we have the card here, journey. All right. So it's very much about a journey, and so is the hermit. The hermit is about a very solitary journey, a journey within, deep into the soul. But I'm picking up a bunch of messages from this, and I'll go into that in a minute. So he's very much aware that there's timing. Universal timing is very much at play right now with this energy shift. He knows that you guys he'll come together with you when the timing is right. Be patient. We have this too for here. The spider. Be meticulous and patient. So he wants you to know to be patient with him. Be patient with him through this journey. There's still certain things that he needs to do before he can come back into union with you. So be patient, but also be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself and make sure that you pay attention to the details and take time to smell the roses along the way. Just because you're aware of this union doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy the people along the way. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy certain partners that you may have, soulmates, karmic partners, all those connections. He doesn't want you to not enjoy those connections with other people just because you are aware of the connection and the union that exists between the two of you. You're not meant to close yourself off from other situations and people because these are opportunities for you to grow. He wants you to still continue on your journey. He also wants you to increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. He knows that you're stuck, just like him. He knows that you're stuck, and he wants you to really try to get motivated to make the changes that you need to make so that way you can make your way back together. But like I said, the message coming through is very much that he wants you to enjoy your life to its fullest in the meantime. Just because you're aware of this connection between the two of you doesn't mean that you should stop enjoying other people and other partners and close yourself off to other situations. You guys will come together at the right time. The time just might not be right now, and you need to be okay with that. That is the message that he is sending the divine feminine right now. He's also saying our connection is forever. It always has been. It's eternal. He's also saying, though we may be physically apart, spiritually, you and I are together. We're always together. Love transcends time, space, and nothing is missing. So in the 5D, nothing is missing. You guys are already together in union. It's just here in the 3D, here on Earth, there's that separation. But your connection with this individual is eternal. There's nothing missing. It's already whole. It's just here in this existence in the 3D. It's like that illusion of separation. So he wants you to know that you're here on Earth to enjoy this. He's also here to learn too. You guys are both here to learn. You guys will come back together when the timing is right. So enjoy yourself in the meantime. Also the messages coming through here, a few, all right? He wants you to know right now that he is working on himself. Just like you, he's telling you to increase your efforts in order to do the hard work. He's also doing the work, okay? And if he's not yet, he's planning on it, meaning that he's dropping certain things from his life so that way he can go on his merry way and be alone. He's actually going into a phase of solitude right now, so that way he can work on himself. He's letting old concepts die. He's letting old concepts die, and everything that's basically not working in his life just die. He's just letting it go. So that way he can embrace the new opportunities. This is the ending of cycles and new opportunities that are opening up for us, new doors with the world. So cycles, completion, rebirth, just all those things. He knows this is very necessary for his journey, so that way he can grow through all this and let go of everything that's no longer working for him. But I'm also picking up on a second message. This is for people that have already come into union and that are in a painful separation with their divine masculine. What I'm picking up on is that there's something that obviously he ended. He ended this relationship with you. It was very, very painful. You did not understand. What he's saying is that I needed to go in search of something. I needed to find my own way. I needed to figure some things out for myself. I needed to see what my place was in the world. Okay? So he's either still on this journey or he has finally arrived at that destination. So that means that now that he's already gone through this journey of the ego, journey of just all these other things that had nothing to do with actual, like a loving union. He's finally ready now because he understands certain things about himself, and he wouldn't have understood it if he hadn't have gone on this journey. If he hadn't have ended things with you, he would have never been able to figure out the things that he's figured out so far. So now he feels a lot more emotionally mature and ready to accept someone like you that was so open and loving and giving, something that scared him before. It's like now he is starting to realize that that's what he really wants. He's ready for that emotional connection. He's ready for that deep connection that may have scared him in the past. He's not scared anymore. He actually wants it. So that's what he wants to communicate with you, you feminine, right now. So I hope that that's very healing for some of you. Okay, so this is the message that the divine feminine has for the masculine. So if she could say something to him right now, in the 3D, this is what it would be. But this is something that she is communicating with him currently on the 5D. All right. These are things that the conversations that they're already having. She is very aware that they're twin flames. So I know I said earlier in the reading that she was aware of this connection. She already knows. She's in an all-knowing state. The feminine, I'm not saying the feminine has her shit together and the masculine doesn't. They're both growing. She has a lot of work she needs to do too. Okay. She has a lot of shit she needs to take care of. But she knows, deep down, she knows who her twin flame is. Or she knows that her twin flame is in this lifetime. So she's in an all-knowing that she believes in this. She believes in this twin flame connection. She has it confirmed from the universe. In the beginning of the reading, she had that yes card. So this would be for people that have been confused about who their twin flame is. That person that you've, felt drawn to or that you could never forget and that sort of thing. That was that confirmation of, yes, this is your twin flame. The person that you're thinking of is your twin flame. So I don't know if some of you tuning in may need that confirmation right now, but that's the confirmation that the universe has to give to you right now. So twin flames. So she's very, very aware of the twin flame connection between the two of you. She knows it. She trusts it. She wants you to be more open to it and trust it too. This is the card of death, or from death comes rebirth. So she realizes, she understands that it was your time to go, that you needed to go. Okay. She does realize that you needed to go and search. So again, these are for people that have already come together. She knows that you had to go through this death and rebirth process. She knows that you needed to go that way. She knows that that things just had to go that way. As much as it hurt her, she knows that it needed to happen that way, because she might not have let go. She might not have let go if you hadn't done what you did. But If we're talking about people that haven't come together, she knows that whatever you're going through right now, it's something that you have to go through. All these difficulties that you're going through right now are very much a part of your growing process. And this is how you're going to be rebirthed, so that way you guys can come back together. She's also stating to you that it's time to go. It's time to leave situations. It's time to start making your way back to her, yourself. Okay, that twin flame connection. It's time to go. It's time to let things go that are no longer working for you. The hourglass comes up. Time is of the essence. You know, I mean, time is an illusion, so it's not that time is running out, but she's just letting you know that you're wasting time. You don't need to waste time on shit that's no longer working. So what we have here, we've got broken bridge, and we have bat, which is enemies working against you. She's basically saying, wants to communicate to you that the people that are around you, we have the fame card here. Whenever the fame card comes up, this has to do with people that are in the public eye. These are people that are recognized for either their talents, they're famous, or they're just known for something. They're popular, all right? But it's also about being stuck in the ego and placing way too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Just importance on materialism and on the way that things look and appear. And again, I did get a message earlier in this reading that this individual might be in a situation where other people might be judging him if he goes for a certain type of person. And that might be hard for him because he's stuck in that ego process, okay? But what this is saying here is things are about ready to change in this person's eyes. This person is starting to see things from a different point of view. So the masculine is changing. The masculine is realizing that there's things that are not working. The people that are around him are not genuine. There's shit that's falling apart all around. Changes are trying to take place. He's putting on a new pair of glasses, or he's taking off those rose-colored glasses, and he's starting to see things for how they really are, which is he really doesn't have those deep connections. Everything around him is superficial. I don't know why those messages are coming through, but they are. So I'm just going with it. But that could apply to some masculines out there, that they're very much in that state, and that has really kept them from coming together with this twin flame, with the divine feminine. So anyways, what the divine feminine is trying to tell him is it's time to go. It's time to let certain old concepts die. It's time to go in search of something bigger and greater. We have the Hierophant coming up. The Hierophant is about traditions. It's about morals. It's about standards. It's about marriage. It's about conventional things. And so she's telling him that it's time to grow up. That's what I'm getting. I don't know. It's time to grow up, and it's time to start looking at life in terms of the long term. You know, like maybe he's played around for quite some time, and he's gone through all these things and, you know, learned all these things about himself. But now it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious about shit. This could also indicate that it's time to get serious about commitment too, like coming together with a partner and considering marriage and children and all these things, if that's what they both want, or one of them wants, or if that's what he wants. It's time to let go of the materialism. It's time to let go of all this crap that he thinks is so important that's really not. It's time to let go of all those old concepts. But the dual message that I'm getting here is it's time to start saving money. It's time to stop screwing around when it comes to just living so free. There's some energy that's coming through that's about somebody being really free, and somebody just kind of throwing caution to the wind and just kind of living paycheck to paycheck, or living project to project, and, you know, waiting for just like a big payoff or something, but it's not really stable income. It's time to stop living like that. It's time to grow up and to get serious about certain things. And the divine feminine is just trying to help him, just really trying to communicate that with him, that she would like to come together with him to help him with this. She knows together they could make a great team in that department, okay? But then also that will lead to this cup running over. He's not going to find what he's looking for in all this materialism and all this crap, all this inauthentic shit. He's not going to find it. He's only going to find it once he gets serious. He leaves all that behind. He leaves the old shit behind. He lets the death come through and rebirth him and transform him. He's only going to be able to experience this cup running over when he is finally made aware of this twin flame connection or comes back together with his twin flame. But he's got to let go of a lot of these concepts that he's holding so tightly to. He's got to get more into tune with that side of himself that has to do with standards and morals, and instead of being so free, he needs to get serious about something. I'm almost picking up on that he may be very much in a party mode, and it's time to get serious and structured. It's time to clean up his act with something. So these are not only her messages, but she's sending energy, love and healing energy and help towards his way. So that way it can help him get through all this stuff. So that way he can wake up. He can finally wake up from the dream that he's been in, and he can finally let go and say, okay, it's time to get my act together. It's time to go. I can't wallow in this anymore. This isn't me. This isn't lined up with my highest, whatever, my highest good, or just what I'm supposed to be doing in the world. This isn't lining up. It's time for a change. It's time for me to let go so that way I can be reborn into something new. So anyways, that is her message to the masculine. Okay, so this is the final position for the reading here. This is the future. So these are future things that are to come for the masculine. So this is either with the feminine or just on his own. Regardless, it's just the future, that the future energies that are going to be working for the masculine. So what we have here is we have farewell to the moon. Okay. So I want to point out a couple of things with the moon. The moon, and very rarely do I say that certain cards are certain signs, but in this particular case, I feel compelled to say we might be dealing with the Pisces. All right. The Pisces is ruled by the moon. And so I just want to put that out there. All right. So we could be dealing with the Pisces masculine, but it doesn't mean that if, the masculine isn't a Pisces, that this does not apply. I just wanted to put that out there. That may resonate with somebody out there, which is why I felt compelled to say it. But farewell to the moon. This is about being saying goodbye to certain cycles, certain things that are no longer working for us. We know that with, the full moon and the new moon, there's certain things that we call in. There's certain things that we let go of with all these different cycles. Obviously, there's just cycles really with anything in life. But in the future for the masculine, he's going to be very aware of certain things that need to take place and that need to change. Farewell to the moon to me is like farewell to dark times as well, because the moon in the regular tarot is about being in a dark time where we're in a kind of a dreamlike state and we're unsure about things. There could be deception going on. We just really are unaware. We're in the dark. So farewell to the moon is the message to me, that it's farewell to this dark times that he's been in. So he's going to be stepping into the light. He's going to be stepping into a period of growth, which is why the spring card comes up. It says your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. So there's something very significant about the springtime for him. He may come back into union with you. He may come into his own when it comes to his career, but there's some kind of significant change that's coming for him in the spring. Something blossoms, something grows, because he's saying farewell to the moon, the darkness. He's able to, to open himself up to new opportunities that are wanting to take place for him in the spring. The Five of Swords here. This is a card where we feel stuck. We feel stuck by our circumstances, especially when we're dealing with other people. So it's a card about struggling with other people and people almost kind of playing mind games, because it is swords. So it has to do with mind and thoughts. So it's like other people manipulating him maybe trying to manipulate other people, basically mind games. But what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing him stepping out of that energy moving forward, because we saw in the past positions that he did have other people that were around him that weren't aligned with his true highest self. All right. He was dealing with inauthentic people. It's almost like what I see for the masculine is him pulling out of the shit, him getting up and basically saying, you know what? It's not working for me anymore. I'm walking away. And what I'm actually seeing here for him is the Eight of Pentacles, which has to do with him just basically being a master at his craft. He is working his ass off, basically. He got the card of perseverance, which is somebody who's just a hard worker, somebody who's willing to put in the work, so that way they get a huge payoff in the end. So they're moving towards something very positive. The Chariot is a card that's saying just that. He's moving towards what he's destined to do. And I definitely feel this when it comes to either a creative pursuit for him or some kind of a job. But he is working towards something very stable when it comes to his place in the world. So that will continue for him. And that there may be something that is offered to him in the springtime. You know, I am feeling love, but I'm also feeling something to do with money. Okay. And some kind of a surprise. So we have the Gong, which is an exciting event with the surprise. And we also have this card, love, true love and fidelity. So whenever this true love or card comes up of love, true love and fidelity, this just means that there's something, there's this feeling of love, romance that he's going to be feeling. We've got a card that indicates a time frame, spring, which is why I want to say that he may be coming together. It could just be with another karmic partner or a soulmate in the springtime to, you know, go through a certain thing so that way he can learn more about himself, or it might in fact be a reunion with you. Okay. But whatever this is, it's a surprise. It's very exciting to him. It's a very positive time. All right. And then we have, as far as his career goes, he should accept valid criticism from other people. Other people might not all be out to get him, okay? And he might be in a negative mind frame where he looks at people around him, because there are a lot of inauthentic people around him, but not everybody is out to get him. There might be some people that are in his, his space that are genuine, that do have some criticism to give him. He might be criticized within his creative pursuit or his career. And what this is saying is that he needs to accept this criticism, because it's going to lead to more money for him. So there might be something that he's dead set on doing a certain way. And there might be somebody that steps in that says, hey, you know what? Have you ever thought about doing it this way? He might not be 100% open to that idea, but what this is saying is that in the future, he might have to tweak a plan. He might have to tweak something in order to create more money or create more revenue for himself. So he's definitely going to be going through some career and financial changes coming up here in the spring. But like I said, I really feel that there's also something that's connected to the springtime when it comes to this exciting love that's kind of a surprise and that just kind of comes out of nowhere. Could be reunion, could just be with another partner. This one here says you have the power to say no or to walk away. Power. So for me, what this card is relating to is the Five of Swords. He does have the power to say no and to walk away from people and situations that are not aligned with him. People that he knows that don't have his best intentions at heart. He has the power to walk away from these people. He doesn't have to partake. He doesn't have to associate with these people. I mean, there might be certain things that he has to do for work and that sort of thing, but all in all, he really doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. And that's just that card saying you have the power to say no to anything that doesn't work for you. So he's going through a lot of these changes. He's saying farewell to things that are no longer working for them. He's saying no to situations where people are being manipulative and aren't, don't have the best intentions, but he's continuing to work on himself. He's accepting some sort of criticism so that way he can make a little bit more money, but he does have something surprising coming and something about spring. So that'll be very interesting to see what happens with some of you guys out there when the springtime hits. This is for the divine feminine. These are the things that are going to be opening up for her for the future. So these are things that are going to be surrounding her, certain changes that are going to be taking place or wanting to take place for her. When it comes to the future. So these are the things that are coming up for her. So the first cards that we're going to go through are the tarots. So she will be continuing to work on something. But what I'm seeing for the feminine is that she's perfecting a craft. She's perfecting something. There's some kind of talent that she has that she will really be mastering here in the future. And what it's going to do is it's really going to create for her to be able to leave certain things that are no longer working for her, things that she's been dissatisfied with for quite some time. She's going to be able to willingly walk away from things and abandon situations and search for something greater, okay? And it's like the universe it has a big part in that. The Eight of Wands. I love this card. It has a variety of meanings for me. It talks about sexual energy. It talks about excitement. It has to do with, the universe that is propelling us in certain ways because of the law of attraction, the energy that we put out into the universe. It's like propelling us into a certain way. So it's giving us that extra boost. These are arrows of love. So this could have to do with romance, all these things. But the eights are I love the eights because it's like right before the nine, right before you're like ending something, you're ending a cycle, but you're willing to do this. Sometimes the nines, we're not ready to let go. We're really struggling with something. And the eights, for me, it's like you make that decision on your own. You make the decision to walk away from something. You put your energy into something, and so now you're going to reap those rewards. So to me, the eights are very rewarding. So the fact that she has two in her future are really great. So working on mastering a skill and just basically continuing to work, abandoning something that's no longer working for her in pursuit of the way the universe is the direction that the universe is trying to put her in. She's following. She's listening to the universe. She's abandoning something because the universe is steering her towards something greater, and she knows it. The Three of Pentacles, though, is also about coming together with other people. It could be another person or just a group of people that will really help in your craft. Okay, so it's about working really well with other people. So then she has the Serpent card here, and the Serpent is about taking a sly and subtle approach. All right, doesn't mean being sneaky, but it just means be very subtle. Don't be too aggressive in your pursuit of certain things, all right? Be very sly, kind of remain a little hidden. Don't reveal your plan 100% to anyone just yet. Keep certain things to yourself. So it's just telling her to be a little bit, just a little smart. Like the snake in the Lenormand, I think is really about just that wisdom. It can be negative, but it's also about using the wisdom of the snake to be sly and subtle with the way that you go about things. She will be concentrating on health issues. Doesn't mean it's issues, but it just means that she's very much going to be concentrated on her health. She could be getting back into shape. She could be just paying more attention to her actual physical health, getting healthy, eating better, just exercising, all those things. So, and even also her mental health as well. So there's a lot of things that she's going to be paying attention to when it comes to her health, but for the positive. All right. And then we have transformation. Your relationship with another is about to deepen. So this isn't about the relationship that she has with herself. This is about a relationship that she has with another. And I do feel that it has to do with the divine masculine, because she got the spiritual card that was connected to this. Okay. So this is a spiritual relationship, a spiritual connection and relationship that she shares with the divine masculine. So it's about ready to deepen into another level. Whether that's in the 5D or the 3D, it doesn't matter. The work is being done, okay? The work is being done, and she is able to really just enrich that partnership. And in turn, it only enriches her. It only has positive effects for her as she continues to heal and strengthen and just put nothing but love and acceptance and healing into this connection with the divine masculine. So not only is she doing it for him, she's also doing it for herself. It's universal. It goes round and round. It goes back and forth. So she's really going to be taking this to a whole new level, which is awesome. The Little Boy Blue, this is about dreams coming true and returning of the soul. This is about being a baby again, being reborn. All right. Dreams coming true, going back to the beginning of how things once were. So the messages that I'm picking up are a couple. Going back to the way things were, having a fresh new start in a situation. So it could be with the divine masculine. Okay. So the opportunity could present itself again to where she's able to come together with him and have a relationship, or that she just comes together with him and they start this new journey together. All right. But she is dealing with somebody outside of the divine masculine. She's disappointed in a friend or a lover. The mule is someone who is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. And then we have the scissors, which is disappointment in some affair. So we have her walking away from something here. I do feel that it is from some person because it's come up several times for her. She is going to be parting ways with someone that is unwilling to change, somebody who is just not aligned with her highest being, somebody that she's just not resonating with. Of course, she already is aware. So if she is with a partner, she's already aware that there's something else out there for her that's greater. But she may no longer want to deal with the karmic situation anymore. She may just want to cut this person out of her life for good so that way she can be reborn and look at things from a fresh new perspective. So that way she can go in search of something greater. All right. But she knows that she needs to have a certain approach. So instead of being rash and just making that decision to cut somebody out, she knows that she has to go about things a certain way. But there's this key about her taking care of herself. So she might not be in a mental state or like that physical state where she feels good enough to maybe go out on her own and be apart from someone. So she really needs to work on herself and really strengthen the connection that she has, not only with herself, but her twin flame. But again, there's a lot of work that she needs to do, a lot of work that he needs to do. But this reading for me as a whole, man, it just was so amazing. I don't know. I just feel so good about it. The messages that came through, just really, really mind blowing for me. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading and that it resonated with some of you guys out there. You know, either some of it did or all of it, or maybe even none of it. But regardless, I feel that anybody that tunes in at any given time, whether that's now or, 5 years from now, I just feel that this is the message that you needed to hear at this particular time and space. And that's why I do it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again for tuning in and watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.